Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Mixed Media Mayhem. Now today's recipe calls for paint, torn edges, and 3D flowers. Had a moment, couldn't remember. So I've got my paint, I've got my paper to tear, my 3D flowers, and I've pulled in a couple other lettering bits here. Not exactly sure how I'm going to decorate today, but we'll figure that out. So let's see what I can do. Guys, so I did have visions of doing some sort of gorgeous painted background, and then I thought, nah. And that's quite honestly what I thought. So I just dribbled some of my Distress paint onto this background, grabbed a thin silicone brush, I think I grabbed a 1-incher, and just pushed the paint down into the paper. That is literally all I did. And then I took a Distress Oxide spray in the same color, which is spun sugar, did a couple sprays, did a couple splatters, grabbed mustard seed, and did a couple yellow splatters there as well, because there is yellow in the paper that I'm using to do my torn edges. So I've got a couple pieces of paper. Some of them are new 12 by 12 papers, so don't have a problem at all ripping into that. And then some of them were what I would consider a scrap, which is a pretty big piece of paper, if we're being honest. Now I am just going to take my papers and I am going to tear them so that the white torn edge is up. So that's what you're going to see. I have done paper tearing in the past where the torn edge is down and you don't really see that white core of the paper. It's really up to you of how you like paper tearing and how you're feeling about it in the moment. There is no hard and fast rule about paper tearing, you guys. There's just not. You can do whatever you want. So, I did a couple more layers, but what I've done is make sure that this center darker paper, this darker kind of teal aqua paper with the variety of colored flowers on it that has the pink and the yellow and things like that, has only been on the page once, and it's kind of in the center of my paper tearing. So that is kind of like my, I want to say it's like my statement paper tearing, and I know that that sounds completely obnoxious, but that's the way it is. Now, I was toying with the idea of matting my photo. Now that I'm looking at it, I wish I would have matted it in some vellum just to give it a soft little edge around it, or maybe some tulle. But the layout is done and I did not do any kind of photo mat, so I'm not going back and changing it. Listen to me, guys. The layout is done. I am not going back and changing it. You know, sometimes you finish a layout and you're like, yeah, it's good. And then if I wasn't talking about this layout to you guys and looking at it while I am doing this voiceover, I probably never would have thought, oh, I should probably put some vellum under there or a little something under that photo mat, because I am completely happy with my layout. I like the way it turned out. But because I'm looking at it and talking about it, it's like, that's nonsense. Put the layout in the pile to be put away, because it is a pile right now, and be done with it. If it is affecting you that much where you're like, I've got to change this, then do it. But honestly, you guys, I have so many photos and so many memories and so many stories that, like, that little extra little bit of paper that didn't make it onto this layout is not going to stress me out. Probably spending more time talking about it right now than I will thinking about it ever again in the future. So I'm going to leave that there. Now, I am still doing my, if I pull it out, I got to use at least one thing. And that is a little funky for me because I thought that these blue flowers matched a little bit more in color than they actually do. But it's either use these blue flowers or the brighter blue flowers that definitely are not even a close or even a tad bit similar match. So these blue flowers are the ones. And then what I've decided to do is tuck them underneath of the other flowers so there's only a little bit of blue that pops through. And in doing this, it's not the exact color, but since I did put my flowers in a triangle around my photo, I kind of feel like it is making you look more at the photo than the paper tearing that's going on the outside, because the photo is a full 4x6, but I've got it tucked under the torn paper, and the subject is just Christopher, and he's got the prison like landscape all around him. So the subject in the photo is small. Now I am going to use these white foam letter stickers. These are the not so fantastic ones from Hobby Lobby. They stretch and pull, and sometimes they don't stick. They're just not great. But for some reason, I'm determined to use as many of them as I can. I think I need to actually go through the things, because the basic bones are in the room, but I think I actually need to go through all the things, touch every single thing, and see if it is realistic to keep or not. Like, are there vowels? Are there things I can do with it? There's only so many like piles of numbers or letters layouts that a person can do. Anyway, I go ahead and get that title down, and it does say Sexy in Jail. And, you know, I couldn't think of anything really cute or funny, but I asked Christopher to pose for me against the wall, and he did. So Sexy in Jail is the title, and that's just the way it's going to be. Anyway, now that those flowers are down and I have those little bits of clusters, that is going to do it for this layout, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check out the Mixed Media Mayhem Facebook group, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.